Here you go. Why I'm coming today because I need to learn, I need to understand more about humans in general, about myself in particular, about how things are going on, and how the others and myself, but how the mind is done. There are so many things I don't know or I don't understand that when I come
Genevieve,
to Sparks, I learn a bit,
Genevieve,
step by step.
would you put it on the court? So by that I mean make it real in your life. So I get that you're wanting to understand something. What is actually going on in your life? What is the specific?
For example, one sparkle which really touched me was is confidence is a choice. It is, and many times in my life, in my everyday life, or when I have not a deal, I don't know, when I something I am afraid of, I know I can choose, and it comes in my head much more quicker now. That well, okay, you have that. You feel stopped, but you have the choice to go or to choose not to go, but with consciousness. This is one example. For boundaries, yes, it is right to keep boundaries. It is right to stand for them, to know your boundaries, to choose to have one, to say, to tell them, to have others respect,
And Genevieve,
etc.
it's still not really on the court.
On
What
the what?
on the court? I'm using a distinction, which is if you're at a tennis match, there's two players actually on the court, and there's a bunch of people in the stands in the audience watching. And and there's a bunch of drama happening all throughout the tennis court. There's the two players trying to win, trying to lose, who are sweating, who are really in a flow. And then there's the view from the stands, which is analysis. It's also participation, but nothing's at risk. It's not actually on the court making everything visible. So I hear you talking about confidence is a choice. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know. And so what I'm asking is I want to get closer. I want to get closer to what's really going on for Geneviève in your life.
Okay, you can go ahead. I will find examples.
We're right here with you. It's not about going ahead, it's about wanting to be with you in what you want to share. What mattered to you that you wanted or that you were experimenting with confidence about? What was actually the thing you were experimenting with?
Okay, an example.
So
You
Jean,
know,
it's not an example. It's just to share, it's just to share from your life. When you say an example, you put it in a little glass box like it's a museum or something, and you say, okay, we have this is an example of a frog. Instead of just showing us, here's the frog I caught in my backyard.
You can't do it wrong, Genevieve.
Take a second and just connect, just look at Leslie, look at me, and all three of us together just energetically make it crack in your heart as you're connecting with the eyes of the other person, and let the crack from your heart go all the way to the other people on this team.
It happens almost each time I hold space at I keep the possibility when it is my turn. Suddenly, I really feel I'm not able. The subject is not. I prepare something, for example. I prepared. Well, last time it was limits. The time before it was energetic body, and I prepare it, and one day before it happens, I am sure it is. I am sure, completely sure it is not interesting. I didn't choose the right subject. I don't know how to say it, how what exercises I will do, all the things I prepared were. I feel suddenly so, and then I have to decide. Yes, I prepared it. It will be as it will be. We'll try together. We do exercises together and happen whatever happens. But and I go and suddenly I can choose. Did you want to go? Yes, I choose to go. Okay, go. Go, Geneviève, boom. And take confidence. And well, happen what it will happen. What will happen anyway? No, I am sure nobody will die about that. So go. And it is a struggle each time.
What do you need from this team about that?
I know you have so much experience in that. Maybe at the beginning, did you have that kind of feelings of fear? So I asked you, maybe you can share, but what do I need? I, I suppose I'm normal. But what do I need? Did you have that kind of experience before? Both of you.
I have the experience of coming out of relationship with teams, and and what happens when I come out of relationship with a team is I think that I'm on trial, that the other people in the space in on the screen are assessing me, or that I somehow have to prove, I somehow have to give currency of this is interesting enough, this is worth everybody's time. And it's coming out of relationship because not it's not creating together with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that experience quite often. What
Thank
about
you.
you, Leslie?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. I either over plan or under plan, and then I basically go about trying to prove myself, trying to prove that I'm competent, or I'm right, or I'm like, it almost doesn't matter as long as I'm getting my way. Whatever confidence backs that up isn't helping me.
Isn't what?
It isn't doing me a favor. It isn't helping me to be confident.
What helps me, Genevieve, is my attention. And when my attention is on myself, that's when this being out of relationship starts to happen. And then all that can happen is my mind starts going up and trying to figure something out. And here's one thing, one hint for my experiences. The way out for me is not to shut down the mind. It's simply to dial up my attention on the people I'm with. And if I'm really dialing up my attention on you, on Leslie, on the space, then I don't have room. I don't have room to go into whatever, the planning, the strategizing, the judging, the fear that it's not enough. And I can create in the present moment because you give something to the space that I notice with my attention, and Leslie gives something to the space I notice with my attention. And then I'm really caught up in the present moment, and then I can create what comes right next. And if I'm not using my attention to be with the present moment, I'm here 5 minutes in the past thinking, oh, okay, no one's interested. I said the wrong thing. And everyone else is here in the present. And I'm still there.
That explains me a lot why I have that fear before it begins, the day before and before it begins. But once when what it happens, once it begins, okay, I am in the swimming pool and all that is gone. All that goes because I am in the swimming pool and I am with the persons who are there. I have the subject, of course, I bring something, and I bring exercises, but I am swimming with the group. So this explains me. Maybe because at that time when we enter the group, okay, now it is done. It is not time to think anymore. Go. I understand. Well, I understand. Yes, I think I understand, and I like the way you said yes. If I am in my thoughts, thinking about good, bad, and I am not in the right moment, in that present moment, this is when it happens. But the more I hold space, the more I can be with people and with women. We go where we can. Thank you for that explanation. Lightening.
What do you notice about me and Leslie right now if you put your attention on one of us?
I notice you listen.
Say that again.
I noticed you were listening. You are there.
And keep going, keep energetically scanning and risk saying what you see.
Mm.
Try this.
Right now, I don't know.
What is the title of the spark that you would
I,
have me or Leslie read, each of us? And I don't mean a real already written spark, but when you scan us in the context of who Dawe is right now, what is the spark that you would deliver for me?
if I think the way, well, first you gave me really precise explanation about what I said before, and now you're asking. So it would be a spark about holding space, or
Be specific.
excuse me,
Be specific.
be specific.
Yeah, right
I
down
don't
to
know.
the nugget. Something about holding space. What about holding space?
Giving distinction, giving precise distinctions. Um, another one, an explanation that separate all the mixed things, thinkings, or giving distinction. This is that, this is that, separated.
Can you, what is there a distinction that came out for you of what Dawe said?
Yes, well, yes, I don't know if it did what you asked for. Saying when you are with the persons in the group, and saying in that moment you are with in a small moment. This is one distinction, being in the small moment, small now. So, and reminding it, okay, stay for me, Genevieve, stay in the small now. This is a distinction.
What is the title is it when you're in the small now, you are with the group?
And I should be with the group and with myself also, in order to be able to feel and to sense and to interact. Oh, I think so. I suppose so.
So
This is when it goes on.
this is a possibly scary doorway for you, Jean-Pierre, to really have your authority enough to declare the title of a spark.
How could I declare a title of the spark? I don't know. I don't understand. I even don't understand what you are saying.
I get that you do not understand it. So you're noticing something about the distinctions I'm bringing into this space. And the practice I offer you is to have the authority to declare the distinction in the form of the title of a spark.
This is frightening.
You feel scared because
I'm not the person allowed to say this is about that.
Who is the person allowed to say
The
that?
writers,
The
good
writer,
writers.
good
Clinton
writer.
Callahan, big persons, big thinkers. I'm just a small world. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so
So hold on. Yeah, just stay there. Stay there. There's fear.
yes,
because you're not Clinton.
or any
Yeah.
wonderful person.
So what happens if you dare to give a title to what you're noticing? What would happen?
First, with my own judgment, my own judgment.
Yeah, and what's the judgment? Just stay with the fear. If you really were to declare what you notice into this space here, what does the voice inside you say the consequences?
The voice says that this is silly to just to declare it. I'm not competent enough. I'm not whatever.
Yeah, and
So it is
who,
silly to.
who told you that you're not competent enough?
The voice, the main voice is the one of my mother for sure. But
Yeah,
well,
yeah, and just feel,
even if I fight it, it comes back.
yeah, and just feel that. Feel that the voice of your mother is still inside you.
Mhm. And
Would you like to use your voice blaster?
yes, yes. You are not intelligent enough. Bang.
You'll need a louder voice blaster than that.
It should be more intelligent to do something else. Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even louder, with even more authority. This voice does not belong. Your mother's voice does not get to run your life, Genevieve.
Mhm. My mother's voice is what?
Your mother's voice does not get to run your life.
Yes. Yes.
So blast the voice.
So when she says it should be more intelligent to do something else. Bang! To
Yeah.
think
Yes.
something else. Bang!
Yes. Keep
To
blasting
do
it.
something. Blast many times?
Yes, as many
Yes.
times as it
Keep
takes.
blasting.
Should be better to do something else. Bang!
Yes.
Bang!
Yes,
Go,
go.
Yes.
You don't worth it. Bang!
Yeah. You can
You do
use.
worth it.
And stay in
Bang!
conscious anger as you blast it.
Yes. Yes. It is not good enough. Bang!
Yes.
Yes.
It is not intelligent what you say. Bang!
Yes, go.
Let's go.
It is insufficient. Bang! Why do you say that? Bang!
Yes, keep going. Keep going. As
Go,
many
Genevieve.
as there are voices, you keep blasting.
Bang!
And say the voice and blast it. You have put them together. And you can use your mother tongue if your mother spoke French to you.
Yes. C'est un peu idiot ce que tu dis là. Bang!
Yeah.
Jean-Viv, really point your blaster. Can I see your blaster? Yes, and really
Yes, I can
make
see.
sure it's straight and
Okay.
solid as you're doing it.
Uh-huh. C'est pas comme ça que ça se passe. Bang!
Yes.
Ça peut pas se passer comme ça. Bang!
And really point it directly at the voice. Point it directly
Yes,
at
it's
the voice
just
And see it.
okay.
and see it. You're often, it's kind of up and it looks like you're looking out. So point where you're looking.
Okay. Non, c'est sûrement pas ça. Bang!
Yes. And when you blast the voice, just make sure it disappears. Look at it and see that you just shot it.
Oh non, t'exagères là. Bang! Bang!
Yes.
Yes. Go.
Genevieve, do you have some space free from the voices right now?
Give some space means
Is there a little bit of your own space free from the voices right now?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes,
what
now
is
it is. Yes.
so you just
It's
scan
further.
me and Leslie and you just deliver the title of a spark.
Be yourself.
Yes. Thank you.
Title is Be yourself.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that?
Just want to say thank you first. Thanks to you.
Or
For encouraging me. I like it. Just to find be yourself. I like it. So thank you.
Yeah, you can stay with whatever feelings are there.
I'm wider. I
You're
feel
right.
wider. Yes.
Thank you, Genevieve.
Thank you. Thank you, Darwin. Thank you, Leslie.
thank you, Genevieve.
Leslie, what happened to you the past few months? You're brighter. You have more eye contact with the camera. You speak much clearer.
What happened? My heart. I is I got to experience asking for support and getting support and my heart really feeling the support, the yeah, just feeling a lot of love streaming in back and forth. My heart is much bigger now, I feel. that's one thing I know. I think there are other things. I had a lot of time to make priority, to get very clear on what my priority was during that time. And it included being in these spaces and connecting a lot with people and even holding space. So
Genevieve, would you tell Leslie what you see?
First of all, what I noticed is it is surprising. What is surprising me just now is when she spoke, so that she didn't look at us anymore. She looked on the table or whatever. So I was surprised because it contrasts what you just said before, the way. And I am very impressed that she could say directly what changed in those last months or weeks, and the clarity when she said about about sharing, and this is what impressed me when what I saw, what I heard.
And Genevieve, you've seen the difference in Leslie
Excuse me?
you've seen the difference in Leslie the past few months.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, would you share more about the person you see in front of you?
The person I see in front of me it is like I could just see a big heart moving and living, and then she said she asked for support and she received, and so I didn't know Leslie so long before, so I know her much in those last months.
And if you weren't going to be so safe about it, Genevieve.
So safe.
Yeah, and hiding behind, I don't know Leslie such a long time, but you've been in this group with her. You've been on this team with her.
Well,
You see your witness to your teammates' transformation. And so from your authority, would you share with Leslie the transformation you see?
I see someone, I saw someone who goes, who is not frightened, or if she is frightened, still she goes, she can go forward. And for example, in one group, that one, I liked it even if I know I was surely very bad at it. But she asked, well, okay, I spoke about the fear club I participated in, and that there was a group 333 fear. Yeah, just began. I didn't know, and she said, "Okay, go. Can you hold space and can you do it as 333 for us?" Wow, my God! But she is also like that. She goes. She tries. She's she she goes, and she asks it. How do you say that it was a challenge? But she challenges She
And
challenged me in that case, but she challenges
speak
herself.
directly to Leslie.
Leslie, I find you challenge yourself a lot, and I love it. It gives me strength in a way. Okay, she goes. Okay, I'll go, even if I don't know. and, and this is really something I appreciate. I like. I appreciate a lot. It gives strength to me also to see an example like that. Especially in just especially in like exercises or what, not just speaking, but okay, go, we try this, we try that. Or okay, we once it was okay, I get up, I how do you say that when you must be in fluid? Okay, I go around my chair. Okay, once more. Okay, once more. We do it, and this is, I find it's challenging, but really good, very good.
Did you
So,
notice,
thank
Leslie?
you.
I did know that, and the way I would say it is that Geneviève brought out the best in me because you wanted, you were you were you were in you were here, you had a small now, you were in this space with me and with Beth and whoever else was there, and it was, you were 100%.
Mhm.
And it gave me, and my boldness came out because of your willingness, I think.
Mhm. Or maybe a partout. Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see the transformation in action. I
Mhm.
I invite you, Leslie, to go back and watch an earlier recording from this study group and then watch this recording. It's spectacular.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to let's read a spark.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
recent one.
is it?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Spark 242. There is a difference between pressuring yourself to do a thing and sourcing that thing. In school, church, your parents' house, practicing sports or learning to play a musical instrument, even during Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, you were in many ways forced to do what you did not want to do when you did not want to do it. You accepted or refused what they told you to do because this is modern family life. You were taught to keep your compass of reality outside of yourself and to bow to false authorities.
Compass of reality, I don't know that already. Compass of reality outside of himself.
The compass of reality is how you navigate to what is reality.
Okay.
And so keeping and it really has a lot to do with fear, your own relationship with conscious fear. And what can happen is something like a meme of I need a certain amount of money to survive would be a fear from society, from modern culture. And to keep your compass of reality outside of yourself means to forfeit your inner knowing of your own reality, your own context, and to navigate to according to your parents or school or church or whatever false authorities are outside.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
After years of submitting to external motivation, the sensation of pressuring yourself to do things becomes habitual. The menu becomes your life. Your father does it. Your mother does it. They copy the long-held tradition of self-manipulation. Nothing else is demonstrated. Sooner or later, you integrate self-pressuring into your survival strategy because this is the way.
You want to eat a salad? You pressure yourself to eat a salad. You want an ice cream? You pressure yourself to get an ice cream. You want to go to work? You pressure yourself to go to work. You want to kiss him? You pressure yourself to kiss him. Without radical intervention, pressuring yourself continues to your dying day. Next time you get the chance, ask a group of people to raise their hand if they pressure themselves to do things during their day, even things they already want to do. Can I read it again? Next time you get the chance, ask a group of people to raise their hand if they pressure themselves to do things during their day, even things they already want to do. Almost all of them will put up their hand. If you do this experiment, see if you pressured yourself to do it. What? Shall I continue?
I'd like to pause and just
Mhm.
just check this out. If I eat a salad, do I pressure myself to eat a salad?
I don't understand.
So the way I see it is that I want to go swimming, and I am suddenly looking at the clock, making sure I have my stuff, seeing when the bus goes, and everything becomes this pressure instead of,
Ah.
okay, what do I need to do so I can go swimming? The stress level rises, even though I want to go swimming. That's how I understood it.
What I have right now is something like I split up the action of doing something like almost into two pieces, and I am often not inside myself just doing the thing, but it's almost like I create a one, like I separate it and I say, ah, you better do this thing, hurry up and do it, or and then there's the doing. So for example, rather than just getting out of bed, no mind, there's okay, it's good to get out of bed right now, or you better get out of bed right now. So there's like a commanding voice in a lot of the things I do.
Yeah. It's in a way not exactly the same thing, but as Leslie said, you want an ice cream, suddenly you want an ice cream, but you're pressured to get an ice cream. This is you can put pressure to act. The action is going there, just not leaving it simple. You don't do it simply. You have to, like the voice, you have to do it. maybe in that way or that way, maybe. No?
Yeah.
What would life and relating be like if you did not pressure yourself to do things? Would you exercise, steal things, meditate, drop litter, eat well, overspend, clean your dishes? Would you become a dirty, fat, lonely beggar?
Oh, I don't like the image.
What would life and relating be like if you did not pressure yourself to do these things? So it's looking for the meme in my head. What do I need pressure for? Like I tell myself that if I don't pressure myself, I won't do anything and I'll become a dirty, fat, lonely beggar. But I don't know how I'll be fat because I won't be able to eat. But yeah, there's some kind of belief, the meme, that I have to pressure myself. I have to make myself do things or I just won't do anything. That's how I understand it.
I guess I would spend a lot less time on the computer.
Oh.
It depends fields. It depends fields or activities. For some activities, I will do it because I like it, and I will do it anyway. But for other fields, cleaning the dishes, well, yes, maybe it will become a part will become dirty. It depends fields of activities, and in relating. Well, now I don't. Before I pressured myself a lot for relating with people. Now
Yeah.
less because it doesn't give anything.
You pressured yourself to relate to people?
Yes, especially at the job. You must do this. I must phone that person because I must be nice to my colleagues. Now this is better. I don't have colleagues. I don't work so much, so I don't have colleagues, and now I can choose with who I relate. So this is much easier.
I fear if I didn't pressure myself to do things, a lot of my life would become very lazy. Like I fear I would be lazy in creating intimacy in my relationship. I fear I would be lazy about cleaning my room. And I don't know. What do you really want? Do you even know? If you change your inner structure so that you no longer give your authority away, would you pressure yourself to be your own authority? If you change your inner structure so that you no longer give your authority away, would you pressure yourself to be your own authority?
Hmm.
Is your life built out of shoulds and should nots that come from a scolding parent ego state inside your head, incessantly nagging you about what you must always do or must never do? Or does your life come from you? How can you know? Modern culture limits your options. If you escape and every option becomes an option, isn't that more pressure on you? What else is there? Time to experiment. One thing that comes to me that I'm clear that it does not come from pressure is I started taking improv classes recently. and they're so much fun that it is absolutely not coming from any pressure. It comes from my own compass, really, of fun, of high level fun. And not so many things in my life are that natural.
Do you pressure yourself to go to the class? Like, do you
No.
feel? Not at all.
No, I'm so eager to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great example.
We ready for the experiment?
I was just thinking that there about going swimming, that I go once or twice a week, and well, yeah, I just decided when I see an opening in my schedule, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna think, do I feel like going, or and it really isn't a pressure, because I also know that I can just not go. And sometimes I don't, but there's this, it does feel like it comes just from within. No, I'm going. It's just reality. It's just the way it is. I have it in my I don't know, like it's part of me.
So it is not a should or should not, or it is not a should
Yeah.
or a must. Mhm.
Yeah. Not that I'm aware of at all. Let's experiment. Experiments. Spark 242.01. Starting from the moment of incarnation, list everyone who ever pressured you and what they pressured you about. This experiment could fill an entire beat book. Collecting this evidence is not about proving you are a victim. It is about capturing your first enemy on the path, fear. Vague, unfocused, emotional fears stopped you from taking self-motivated actions. Would you naturally allow others to manipulate you or pressure you? No, of course not. That would be yielding to mafia tactics, blackmail, extortion, threats of assault. So where do those fears come from? Who are the mafia bosses? How can you capture your first enemy on the path? By using your second enemy, clarity. This experiment is to be radically honest with yourself about who terrorized you enough that you conform to their demands. Write names, dates, and what they said, what they implied would happen if you did not do what they told you to do. Be clear and specific. Also, write your decisions about yourself, about them, and about your strategy for surviving in a world like this, with people like them. What you find may be shocking. Go all the way. Wow.
It may take time to write all this.
Right? Not enough time.
He said,
Let's go
put
for
Phil and enter a big book.
Right.
Yeah, let's try this for 20 minutes.
Okay. Good.
So I'll set a timer. I'm going to stop the recording for now. Thank you. What did you create from this?
Create. The question is, what is your create? I don't understand.
Yeah, what did you discover?
What did, okay, what did you, okay. Mhm.
I was surprised to have difficulty finding times where I felt pressured. And I mean, I ended up writing down a lot, and somehow pressure didn't seem like the right word for most of how I was. And what it came down to always, the question at the end, what did you decide about the people who pressured you? What did you decide about yourself, and how did you survive? It always came down to believing in a context about the world that they were giving me. Um, the the most bizarre one was I felt pressure to play the violin, and I was not good at playing the violin. And I think even my mom was not very, there wasn't a real reason. We were just kind of zombies continuing the violin lessons for many, many years. And somehow the context that I started believing in was um, things have to be a struggle, that I couldn't let go of the violin lessons or else life could be easy. So somehow that was too threatening to just let go of things that weren't easeful in my life.
Hmm. Did you get that from your parents? That message, or you got it?
Yes, I think that was the I think what I discovered was I always believe in the other person's context. And in that case, the context was life has to be a struggle.
Mhm.
Oh,
What did you discover?
I I had a very strong pressure that came from me, not from, well, anyway, it came from me to decide that I needed to get out of my parents' house, and that I would never like I would never be demanded of in my life. Like I refused to have any kind of demands on me for my whole life. Something like that. And I think I blew that up where maybe, into ways that was overprotection of myself. And I kept making non-ordinary choices. Like I worked on farms and I moved to community out of college, and I studied mental health associate. And like I just it kept it was like this strong insistence that I was gonna do what I wanted. And I think from that also there was a just not dealing with certain things. It was like I wanted what I wanted, and then there was a way I wasn't relating to other people's context. It's interesting because the way you said it, I thought, wow, I think I'm opposite.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then with my sisters, yeah, same kind of thing. It's like I felt like they were making demands of me and they were cruel to me, and I just withdrew. So that was a solution to a lot of things. Pull out. Just pull out. And it doesn't seem to say what I told myself, what it told me about myself, other than I can't stand this, or some kind of like my need. I had a need instead of what do I want? Or I don't know. It's gotten me pretty confused.
Let's jump to the next part of the experiment. Might be useful.
Oh, I see.
After finishing experiment Spark 242.01, take your case to court. Bring together a possibility team or a 3-cell for your court case. Dedicate an entire evening for this process. Well, maybe let's read it and then we can decide if we really have the space for it. You need at least 2 other witnesses in your courtroom, better 5 or 6. Their job is to listen to you, perhaps ask clarifying questions. They wait to hear your plea of guilty. Read aloud your entire writings from your beat book about who secretly holds a gun to your head or a knife to your throat so that you pressure yourself. Explain the evidence you use to prove where the pressure comes from. Plead guilty for blaming those people as persecutors in your lifelong drama. It is time to confess. Explain how you avoided radical responsibility all those years, perhaps since you were born. Reveal in detail your self-deceptions and tactics until the witnesses are convinced that you feel the pain of remorse. They may decide to delay their verdict, demanding that you do deeper research before you reconvene the court to continue this hearing. Follow this procedure until the court agrees that you realize how you sabotaged your own radical freedom. This gives you 1 cubic centimeter of chance.
Yeah.
Like to do this part properly, meaning to have another space
Yeah.
for this next session. And maybe it would take a long time for all of us. And we would do multiple sessions.
Would take a long time for all of us to what?
Do this court case for each of us.
Oh, I love this. I love the next one too. It speaks directly to what I came up with. Just, the way that I created escape hatches and self-deceptions and, like a confusion about who was more important, as if somebody has to be more important instead of just how can we work out what's happening? Something. Anyway, are you thinking of
I'll post to organize times for us to do our court cases in the Telegram group.
okay.
For now, let's stay here in the first part of the experiment. And yeah, I just want to check with what you said, Leslie, that what you got was that it was yourself pressuring yourself.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if you can find places where it was clear that you brought other people in as your persecutors.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of pressure happened for you? Who did you allow to pressure you?
My father was very kind of bottled up. He had implosion rage, a couple of explosions, and then a lot of just carrying tension around. And I was just afraid of him. I was afraid of making him mad. I was afraid of my sisters making him mad. I was afraid of his driving. Like everything was like, don't make dad mad.
Or what was implied?
Who's going to kill us some way, like either in the car or
So what did you decide about yourself?
I started spacing out and dreaming, like looking, like when he was driving the car and he was tailgating somebody, or I would look out the window and just look at the lights and just kind of be somewhere else. And I
That was a
decided
strategy, but what did you decide about yourself?
that I was powerless. That he was in charge, I was powerless, and I was probably going to die as a result of the one who was in power. And there was nothing I could do. Well, that's what powerless is. And I decided that it wasn't worth speaking up to say, Daddy, I'm scared. You're driving too fast. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't, I was ineffective. I didn't matter. I was invisible. I was irrelevant.
Yeah, what I've found to be shocking about this is how nearly every single one of mine ended with, ah, I this happened because I believe I don't know. I believe I don't know anything, and I believe that this other person knows a lot more than me.
Hmm.
I would like to share what I discovered. That thing, is that okay? I found it really surprising. I didn't have any memories about when someone presses me, and it was written on what would happen if if I don't do what they want. It was written like that in the Spark, something like that. But I just remember many people, my father, my husband, so many husband, my godmother, but I was scared, but I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't know if they said, if you don't do it, it will happen this or that or that. As soon as they just shout or speak loud or don't do that, this is enough for me. Just, I don't know, talk. I put myself in a wall, don't be myself, don't feel, don't laugh, don't make noise. And that's it. This is, for all of this, my only response in a way, my way of dealing with all that was just don't. It is, well, maybe it is because of the beginning of that space, but I decided that don't be myself, just be like invisible sometime, or at least don't talk, don't feel. And yes, it was like that, and very, for all the situations, the same answer for myself, the same decision.
Mm.
And like, what do I think about them? They are scary, or even if they don't know everything. Even when my mother talked to me, don't do, don't do this, don't do that, don't say that, but she didn't know what happened at school or whatever. But okay, don't speak, Genevieve. She doesn't know, but she's either bigger or whatever. Everybody is so friendly. I decided, in a way, it changed after a time, but not when I was a child and young woman. Everybody was scary. I decided that humans are scary. Humans are dangerous. So yes, just one answer for all the situations. They're scary. Be careful. Don't feel. Don't feel. Please don't feel. And it surprises me. It's gold in a way. Even if I don't know what will happen, I don't have one memory of, if I do, if I go, and if I continue, what will happen. I have no idea. I don't know if they said that or not, or I just forgot, or I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. So I understand more why it is difficult to feel something, to be aware of what I feel.
Mhm.
What happens? What happens that way?
I was wondering whether we're complete on the first section or not. For me, it's quite clear that all of mine fall into this. They know how to do it. I don't know how to do it, or they know about what's right. I don't know what's right. I and somehow I think my experience is I had the expectation that my experience would be the same as yours, and I hear it's actually quite different. That that the the things that Genevieve had in her moments of being pressured isn't the same as this. They know, I don't know. It's something else, and same with Leslie.
Mhm.
Is anything incomplete for either of you about this first section?
Well, I don't know if it's completely accurate, but for me, it was, I knew, or that they have more knowledge than I have. but they don't have the sensation and they don't have the small, even if it is small, the knowledge that I have. It is like I began very early to distance in a way. They have a lot of knowledge, eventually intellectual knowledge and whatever, but they don't know how it occurs in everyday life of me, but my sister, my neighbor or whatever. They don't know what happens in each person. It was clear quite quickly, this part. So knowledge can be different. Is it intellectual knowledge or life knowledge? And yes, life knowledge, life sensing. Life interference between things, connecting things. When you push something, it goes for, you understand what I mean?
It
Not,
affect what happens when you do one thing, how it affects the other thing.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there isn't more about how small I make myself. And it could just be about that I'm afraid of making someone angry and then they'll scare me or something like that. But there's so much balled up in me. I think there's a huge amount of anger still running a lot of these decisions. And so I like the next part, the second part, because it gets back into, okay, there's anger and there's some weaving that I did that created what I am, how I interpreted what happened. So it sounds good too. I'm looking forward to continuing with this. Maybe it'll uncover some more of the things that were done to me. I didn't do anything from my mother. So there's something there. There's something about how my mother didn't speak up.
How did your mother pressure you?
I just had the sense that she wanted me to be more feminine and more concerned about my appearance and pressure. I don't know. I mean, one of the things that
How did you get it that she wanted you to be more feminine?
she would kind of fluff me up, she
And what was implied if you weren't feminine?
that I would not that I would be alone, that I wouldn't.
That she would leave you or other people would leave you?
Yeah, maybe that she would leave me. I felt pretty accepted by her. It wasn't pressure.
Well, was it implied that other people would leave you?
just that it was the right thing to do for my gender. I mean, that was more the pressure. It was that this is the way things are. Come on, get it down. Get this.
Yeah, and there's some kind of compass your mother was operating with, where to not do that leads to certain consequences. And so what are the consequences she would have implied?
Yeah, just the consequences that I would not be acceptable in the world. Just I would not be accepted.
And then you decided what about yourself?
Well, every so often, well, I don't know. At different times I would grow out my hair and stop wearing overalls and get ears pierced and do feminine things. And and I even one time she wanted to buy me a dress, and I was there and picked a dress that I knew she loved on me, and I realized this is not for me. This is not my dress. And I mean, it was a beautiful dress, but it didn't feel right on me. And it struck me how I had gone through that whole process just to be close to her, just to have her believe in me, that I could be the way she pictured me or the way she wanted me to be. Wow.
Really check how you related to her thoughtware in those moments. What did you decide about her versus you?
That she didn't accept me.
Did you decide you were unacceptable?
Yeah.
And so you changed yourself, was the survival strategy.
Yeah. Until I changed back.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
I suppose we use the Telegram group to organize when we each want our court case to be. And I don't have any idea how long it will take. I propose we do them kind of one at a time. And yeah, I'm going to post in the Telegram group to see who else wants to join us and catch up and do the first part of the Spark on their own time.
Cool. So you're not thinking of doing this next Thursday. You're thinking of it time before next Thursday, or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, would be that we can organize, and it doesn't have to be everybody on the team, but just if enough people can come to hold this court case for each other.
It's great.
Do you have anything, Jean-Pierre, about that?
For now, I really don't have any idea what that court case can be. What can I? Because I told you, I don't. Well, I have examples, but still, it is like half example, not the end. So maybe when I read it again, I can figure out better. But now I cannot figure out anything.
I didn't quite get it. You have half examples of what the second part will be.
I don't, well, if I remember well, the second experiment is to look after the first experiment we did with that person, this is what happened, what he said, and but it maybe I focused too much, but it was said, and I chose to do that, or my decision was that, because if I didn't accept or what, it will happen that. That's right? Okay. But all that part, really, I don't have any memories or whatever. So I just, as soon as I am frightened by myself, as soon as someone raises his voice or tells me, you must listen to me, I don't have finished, this is finished. I have fear, and I decide, okay, I don't live anymore. I am a statue.
So
I am a statue. So
who's the last person that raised their voice and did this to you?
when, like, many years ago, quite many years ago, at that level, and it was my ex-husband.
Okay, do you know what year that was?
The last one, I don't remember even what he said, but the thing before, it was, I'm just waiting, you become normal again. Like if I was
What
getting
year was
crazy.
it?
Excuse me?
What year was it?
It was a long time ago. Long time ago. It was 1999.
Okay, 1999. You said, I'm waiting for you to become normal.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you?
At our place, in our apartment.
In your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Which room do you know?
Our room.
Your bedroom.
Yes. I was ill. Had backache. I couldn't move. I said, just if I am like that, just go. That's all. Go.
And
And
really slow your energetic speed down. So you were ill, and your ex-husband said, I'm waiting for you to become normal again.
mm-hmm.
Can you see him
Mm-hmm.
in your memory?
Mm-hmm.
And so just check, what did you decide about him?
I decided to leave. He didn't want to leave, so I decided to leave. This is the time I
And what
decided
did
to
you
leave.
decide about him? He is,
But him. About him. Well, she's
so just stay really slow. Don't raise your shoulders or tell yourself you don't know. You standing there in your bedroom, you were ill, and he said, I'm waiting for you to become normal. What did you decide about him? It's a sentence. It says, he is.
she wants too much. He is not. He asked for something impossible. He's, she cannot be in my way. He cannot be on my way anymore. I don't know how it is, but it cannot be in my way anymore. We cannot be together anymore. He's, I don't know what, he's a stranger, he's complete stranger. He's not related with me. He's not, he cannot, he's not in relation with me, in fact.
And what did you decide about yourself
To live.
to leave?
And after I when I asked for help, and I
And
left.
and in moments before you decided to leave, in moments where something like this would happen and you stayed, what did you decide about yourself?
Or maybe at that time it was the first, when that arrived, it was the first time I decided, no, I am not, because after, before it was like I made a huge mistake to marry him, but still my mind was like in modern culture, like I married till we die. So I couldn't cut my mon engagement. How do
Yeah,
you say that?
so there's a pressure from,
Myself, really from myself,
well, I don't think it's from yourself.
or from like religion, from the
Yeah.
society, religion.
Yeah, and what did you decide about religion?
I was not completely in religion, but still I understood I have that pressure about like Christian Christian society, in effect, even if I am not Christian and
Yes.
practicing whatever, but I
And
have
what did you decide about that?
that I must, if I want to survive, I must quit. I decided if I want to survive, or I will die. I will die. So I decided to.
I'm asking before you decided to leave,
Mhm.
what did you decide about this, this Christian thoughtware in society?
When I follow it, I followed it. I decided I was not allowed to live my life.
Hmm. So you decided about yourself, I'm not allowed to live my life
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes,
because of what about yourself?
like a good girl. I was not able not to be a good girl. I was not able at that time. I changed. Oof. But I, what did I decide? I am. I thought I put myself in a prison, and this is. I couldn't do anything else. I am not allowed to go out of the prison till that day. I didn't allow me to go till that day. I don't know if it is said in terms of decision, but decision I am not allowed. I am a prisoner of my decision 20 years ago,
Mhm.
20 years before. I stayed married 20 years.
Yeah, that sounds like a decision about yourself to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there's a survival strategy that comes after that as well, of how you decided to survive being in prison. And at time for today, does that help for continuing the journaling?
Does that help to what?
Continue the journaling for the first part.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm.
what you just came to about that you were in a prison, that you. That, yeah, it seems like that uncovered another layer for you, Geneviève.
It is a layer I knew, but maybe it is more precise.
Yeah.
Because at least I didn't discover that today. I knew that before,
Yeah.
but it is more precise.
And then just check out what you decided about the other side, whoever is pressuring you. Check out what you decided about this Christian thoughtware, what you decided about your ex-husband, your parents, your teachers.
Hmm. They're not reachable. They're not, I cannot reach them. So I will read again and look at that for this week, during this week
Okay.
or this time. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Team.
Thank you, Dawe.
See you next
Thank you,
week.
Dawe.
You,
Yes.
Geneviève.
Nice to see you. It was really nice to see you. I'm
Very
pleased to
nice
see you.
See you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be
Thank
here.
you.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.